Welcome back to MLive's Dungeon of Doom podcast. It is Thursday, August 21st, the last day of training camp. We're fresh off joint practices with the Texans. I'm Ben Raven. He's Kory Woods.
What up, though?
Man, it was I almost started hot with Dolphins fans. It was nice to see a competitive joint practice.
Competitive without the fisticuffs.
Yeah. There was only one moment on I watched the offense today. You and Jacob hung out on the defense today. There was just one moment where I think it was Mahogany, 91 for the Texans, just stood over Mahogany, ripped his Guardian cap over his head like it was a hockey jersey, but no fists, nothing like that. But like, all right, that was a little dirty. Yeah. But yeah, on the offensive side of the field, Lions started hot, ran into some problems, had some good moments, had some bad moments. The running game was good. St. Brown's a stud. St. Brown's such a freak. St. Brown's so freaking good, guys. We'll get into more of that too, but you were watching the defense, and I think we had a familiar face back today who made a pretty instant impact.
Oh, yeah. Quintez Cephas was back in the building, and,
right, shout out the past.
Yeah, shout out the past. Was able to catch up with him shortly after practice. I'm going to see how much of that was. He had to go, so it was really, really brief. But yeah, he had a really good play. The Lions just overall never to get into it, but they struggled, on some red zone drills, and he just made a spectacular catch. I mean, remember a couple of years ago on MLive, they had that amazing one-handed
grab. Photo. Yeah,
that one amazing one-hand grab. He looked like he got up almost as high.
Yeah, no,
two-hander one.
That's an interesting guy just because he's always been an interesting athlete. Kirby Joseph back in action today.
Yeah, looked really solid in coverage.
Had a pick on his second play of the whole day, I was told. So there you go. Knees calm down, man. Let's run through some injury updates because I think the top headline of the day is Graham Glasgow did leave practice very late today. Lions are evaluating him for a lower leg injury. I literally just wrote about and asked Dan Campbell about the backup center situation the other day. My bad on that one, I guess. I just was curious if it's Tate or if it's Kingsley or if it's Nice or what the plan was. I wasn't trying to make anything like that happen. But, yeah, I did not see specifically what happened to Glasgow. Just was down, had a really hard time getting back to his feet, did go to the back, checked him out for a lower leg injury. We'll see what happens there. But that's the starting center, man. That's it. I'm not a doctor. It didn't look like things were feeling too good.
Yeah, and I didn't see it, but when you talk about the cross-training for Tate at center, I mean, maybe this might be a blessing in disguise, but at the same time, it's that you're asking a rookie who never played a snap of center in the SEC during his 5 years there to be hopefully, we're not saying he's going to do that, but if there anything is serious with Graham, he would have to step in at center on a team with a Super Bowl window that has high aspirations. And, that chemistry between the center and the QB is paramount. So
that's why Graham's been back at center.
Yeah. So, just everything that Dan said throughout, OTAs and camps about Glasgow and this happens, just hopefully for the Lions, it's nothing serious. Just a little banged up, and hopefully he'll be ready by week 1 versus Green Bay.
Yeah, because if Glasgow can't go, it's either going to be Tate moving positions after spending all but 3 days at guard settling in, or it's going to be someone like Kingsley, who was an undrafted rookie who spent all last year on the practice squad last year. Dan has liked the mental and the physical side of it. It was not Kingsley's best day today. He did go in at center after Glasgow exited, but guys, it was the final drill of practice when this happened. It was situational drill, 23-20, minute 04 on the clock, start about behind midfield. The Lions settled for a field goal. The defense also held the Texans to the field goal on that drive too, so a push. And that's the highlight of the day. It was a push. On the offensive side of the field, there were a couple of people that were like, the Lions won, the Texans won. And I was like, you know what? It was a push. It really was a push because St. Brown was cooking. J-Mo did not have his best day, dropped a very easy touchdown to open practice. And, I mean, he had some back-to-back first down grabs in full team work, but, his play of the day, he didn't get the foot down, but he made a heck of a catch on a deep 40-yard corner route, celebrated with the fans, and the NFL had refs out today. He came over to us and was like, toe was on the line. Sorry, guys. And we're like, oh, no, thanks. But a great route, great catch. But just, he didn't seal a Texan safety, Jalen Peter over the middle, easy pass breakup. Wasn't. it hasn't been his best week either. But I have no doubts about J-Mo picking it up. It just was like, dang, it just wasn't clicking for him today. But yeah, it was just it's a push with the Texans, and I got to give credit to freaking Will Anderson, because after last week with the Dolphins coming in this week, it was like, who's their pass rushers? Like, who's out there for them? This week, it was Will Anderson, man. I mean, he beat Sewell pretty bad, faked inside, used the arm to swim to the outside, and Superman dove to knock the ball out of Goff's hands, strip sack fumble, blew through Mahogany to force a throwaway, had a pressure on an interception in the end zone by Derek Stingley. That was a heck of a throw, though. And I mean, a heck of an interception, though. But yeah, it was just, there was nothing ridiculously standing out for either team. It was just two good teams going to war. Some good moments, some bad moments, but it was a push on the offensive side of the field. Give me the rundown on the defense. You were over there. I wish I could have been on both fields at once, but you can't do it all.
Well, I had DJ Reed. I think he had a phenomenal practice. Had multiple stops in coverage. Just straight up locking stuff down. Had a pick. I believe it was him that had a pick. I know it was Avonte Maddox had a really nice pick, but he was just good in coverage overall. Front seven held firm against the run, but when they went to the second team, number 44 in the Texans just had some fun.
Okay,
just blew right through the guys a couple times, and a little bit of success for the Davis Mills and CJ Stroud. They had a couple completions, but it was balanced out by some pick, multiple drops and misfires.
Yeah.
Grant Stewart, I'll say Grant Stewart, he was just playing with his hair on fire. He was all over the place. The same thing that you were saying about Cunningham, where he can look like he can kind of get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
Looked a little bit like that out there, but also too, he looked good in coverage too. Broke up a pass in the end zone. I'm surprised he dropped back that far, but
yeah, same.
I mean, overall, the one thing I did see was that the Lions did struggle when they got right into like that red zone area when the Davis and CJ were attacking the corners.
Yeah.
Terrion and Allen George got beat really bad. I'm talking about like they got smoked.
Yeah. Okay.
and
some good receivers for the Texans for sure. Nico's a stud. Yeah.
So that was Nico had his way. So that was a little concerning just seeing that. But overall, some things they got to clean up in coverage. But the run they held solid.
Yeah. Yeah. And I talk about J-Mo and the drops and the missing the touchdown, but like I'm telling you, I mean, he was zooming past Derek Stingley. That's a very good cornerback. He was getting open, just wasn't the cleanest day. Getting open. That's what you want to see. Getting open without problem. And I will say the one ball he dropped in the back of the end zone, they ran, I think, to my eyes, it looked like the same exact play, but to the other side to St. Brown, and Goff fired an absolute freaking laser through a CB and a DB. Like it went through like three guys. So I'm not even going to list those guys. We're not covering the Texans, but like St. Brown catches in the back of the end zone. It's like, all right, they like that play. They like that play right there. I mean, the offense, some standouts. It was St. Brown. Khalif Raymond had a heck of a day. Juked someone into the ground on a 20-yard touchdown, catching the screen, motioning behind the quarterback, and Sam Laporta, who returned to practice earlier this week, was inside on Monday, was active for a couple snaps in the scrimmage on Tuesday. And then today, I mean, Laporta, he had one drop, but it was a low throw along the sideline. Still hit him in both hands. That's why I call it a drop, but got open for a 20-yard gain on a 3rd and 8 playing full teamwork. But his 9-yard catch was the most impressive to me because he just like perfectly pinned the Texans linebacker with his outside hip and just like faked him out. And it was like, all right, Dan Campbell got a little cute with us the other day when we asked what Laporta was dealing with, and he just had an injury. Well, whatever injury it was, he looked freaking good today. And just, I mean, that's what you want to hear. Other than the J-Mo stuff, St. Brown's cooking, Laporta's cooking, and I loved what I saw out of Jahmyr Gibbs today. I mean, they opened a red zone drill. He had a 20-yard touchdown with Mahogany out in front, paving the way. Big, physical, faster than he gets credit for. Then 2 plays later, he had a 15-yard run with Brock Wright handling 2 defenders at once. So the running game was clicking today. The best I'd seen the running game in a little bit. It's tough to gauge in these practices. They're not full tackling. They're in pads. They're going hard and stuff like that. But Gibbs, man, it's just a reminder of how freaking high this kid's ceiling is, because, I mean, he opened with a Texas route touchdown and 7-on-7 red zones. It's just big plays for him, man.
And, I would be remiss if I did not say one more person that stood out from the defense today. And I cannot believe I didn't actually lead with him. I mean, Alex Anzalone was
that's
dominant.
what Jacob was saying too.
I mean, he was extremely dominant in coverage, getting to the ball, deflections. He just had, to me, that was one of the best practices I've seen him have. I mean, he was just all over the field, and you saw immediately just how important he's going to be to this defense moving forward. Like, that was El Capitan out there
for sure.
on the field today. And I didn't know that Enzo was that quick. I mean, I don't know whether today was just need to have the pep in this stuff because of the team, but they were going against another team. But he was just really quick from sideline to sideline all over the field. And kind of like I said with Grant, playing with his hair on fire, being a true disruptor out on the field. And the front seven can't really say enough about how they played, but the secondary, it wasn't their greatest day in the office. Even with getting a couple of picks on Stroud, it was just a tough day for them.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to happen. That's going to happen. The Texans are a really good team. Obviously, flashback to last year and what it took to beat them last year. I just Isaac Tesla, we got to talk about him. He's still not repping with the ones. Him and Tim Patrick tore up them second teams today. Tesla probably had the catch of the day, just back of the end zone, contested catch, double coverage. There's a lot of freaking trust between Allen and Tesla right now, and I just need to see him with the first team, man. It's time. Tim Patrick back this week. He just runs those Josh Reynolds routes for this offense so well, and I know people were ready to write him off the second Tesla broke out, but I'm like, nah, you need that big physical veteran because when he's healthy, when he's able, that's a good piece. But I'll circle back just because I think Anzalone kind of got brushed under the rug by some people. I mean, it didn't help that Brad called him long in the tooth on the radio either when talking about his new contract. But it's when you talk about Anzalone and his worth, it's how he fits in with Jack Campbell. It's how he fits in with Derek Barnes because he is the coverage guy. Go back to week 18. He's playing with steel plates in his forearms. He's checking Justin Jefferson into the ground, circling back to knock a ball away meant for TJ Hawkinson. I mean, I get why he wants a new contract because he's underrated.
You saw it up there today. He was frustrating the heck out of CJ Stroud when he was on the field. He made him do a lot of indecision out there. So I just don't see how you cannot see this guy's values to the front seven. Again, today they were the best part.
The D line and up the linebackers.
Yeah, they were. I will say this: Tyreek got pancaked.
Oh yeah,
pretty bad on one. He got pancaked, but overall, aside from that, I don't know whether he slipped or whatnot. But I mean, I think you mentioned a couple of weeks ago, it was taking a couple of guys to get him from breaking through.
Absolutely.
So if it's taking two guys to stop you, that says a lot right there. But yeah, overall dominant day from the front seven. Hutch looked good. Davenport looked good.
Man, Hutch and Davenport. I know what people think of Davenport, and I get the concerns. But if you guys have been out here with us for the last month, I'm ready to eat my words on Marcus Davenport because I was like, what are you bringing him back for? Like, good guy, fits what you want, but my God, you can't count on him. And then they lose Hassanin, and it's like, oh, this is exact. And then Josh Paschal today, we were told, not looking great right now for Paschal to return on the timeline they thought. They said practice by September. Dan said it's taken a little longer than that. He's on non-football injury. We don't know what the specific deal is. We obviously know about some of his past struggles. No clue there. They need someone to step up. And right now it's just Muhammad and Davenport. They look great. They look really good. I don't know, man. Here it is again. Do they need to add someone on the edge? Judon just went.
So again, I did another podcast, did appearance. I was getting raked over coals by saying, hey, whether you want to admit it or not, this is a desperate situation adding depth. You may not like the word desperate, but when you have all the injuries you had last year, you got Hassanin out. Levi was your versatile guy. Yep. He's gone. Yep. Pascal's taking a little bit longer than expected. You need another body, whether you want to admit it or not. Because you have to add somebody, like you said. Judon is gone. I know people are sick of hearing about the anticlimactic situation with Zadarius Smith. I mean, it's definitely reaching that point.
And the cash dollar back, baby.
But it is getting to that point where it's like, do you want to go into week one You're starting week one with a division opponent. Do you want to go in there without the depth that you need? Absolutely not.
No, because right now they can't even give us an answer on if Hassanin will be back this season. That's not good.
And that's not good.
That's not good.
And I know some people are saying, well, didn't some people say he's probably not going to play that much anyway?
Yeah,
it's
but
it's still a body.
He was repping higher in the order when he got hurt. He was looking like someone that's like, oh crap, this guy's going to play.
Yeah.
So that's why learn a couple names heading into this week's preseason game: Isaac Ukwu and Nate Lynn. Those you guys, it's Hutch, it's Davenport, and it's Elquidin Muhammad right now. That's the top three edge. And behind them, is it Ukwu? Is it Agude? Is it Lynn? Like Nate Lynn and Ukwu have had really strong camps and have had some really good moments in the preseason. Like Ukwu's got that powerful one-arm move. I just freaking love it when he does it. And Nate Lynn, I asked Campbell about Lynn after the game last week because it's like, dang, he just keeps showing up. But like, and this is no offense to those guys, but this is exactly why we asked Brad and Dan 95,000 edge rusher questions over the offseason, and the only real addition they made was Hassanin in the 6th round, and now he's gone. And bringing back Davenport. Davenport's looked awesome. He's looked like a starting edge defender. He's played 6 games in 2 or 3 years. I mean, shoot. I mean, I'm sorry, guys, but Za'Darius is a perfect fit for this team right now. Was already a perfect fit for this team, and I think the defensive line is a pure strength this season on paper, but there is an injury to Davenport puts you in a big old hole.
I would say they have to make a move now. I mean, you're probably going to see something around cut days coming soon. So
Tuesday.
So maybe after they get through Saturday, they reassess the situation and they say, okay, who's out there on the market? Wing Za'Darius.
Exactly. Or whoever gets cut, maybe a surprise cut happens. Exactly.
Cut happens. You bring somebody in, but you just cannot act like this is not an area that you need to fill going into the season, because I just me personally, with what happened last year, with what you're already going into the season with right now, I think that would be a huge mistake.
And it's the glaring question mark on both sides of the ball. Well, now with center now too, potentially with Graham, but we're not doctors. We're not going to speculate on that until we know more. But you look at the interior defensive line, even with McNeil out, there's depth there. Reeder looks awesome. Tyleik Williams is growing before our eyes, man. Like really is. And oh man, because they're deep at linebacker. I love their linebacker room, and I'm really high on their secondary. That's a pure strength. Maddox and Yasin boost that depth. Can do safety, slot, and corner. That's great. Great on special teams. Great on the offensive line with the question mark at center. We'll see going forward. But like the other big, we got to talk about 2 things before we get out of here is what the hell are they going to do at quarterback behind Jared Goff, and also the wide receiver situation. We'll start with wide receivers. The 5 are locked in. It's St. Brown, it's Williams, it's Tesla, it's Raymond, and Patrick. Some people have the Lions keeping 7 wide receivers. I'm not there. Some people have them keeping 6. I get it. I'm not there. I think it's 5. I really think it's 5. Jackson Meeks has been awesome. He's got size. He's a better receiver than Lovett, but Lovett has flashes, but he's a great special teamer too. I'm going with the top 5. I think they take a risk. I think they need more depth elsewhere than a 6th or 7th receiver. And my main reasoning for that is it's not a weakness. If it's just those 5 guys, it's a strength.
There's a lot of mouths to feed when it comes to that. So it's like you have, like you just said, you have St. Brown and J-Mo.
Studs.
Tim Patrick, I believe he's good. Even though it has not been the way he wanted it, I believe he's going to get it going.
I think the week and a half that they gave him to recover and rest did everyone very well.
Tesla, I believe when they work him in, is going to be good.
I'm so high on Tesla. It's not just the West Michigan love.
Khalif Raymond has done nothing but answer when his number is called.
Absolutely. He was great today.
So you're good right there. And then you still have to remember they have Sam Laporta. So so Jared Goff is,
and Gibbs and Montgomery
and Gibbs and Montgomery. So it's like Goff is not lacking anybody to throw the ball to. So do you need 6 wide receivers? No. Do you need to have those spots open for other areas of depth? Yes.
Yeah. And
so I was on the whole 6 wide receiver trained, but then as
Me
the
too.
body started dropping, I'm like, okay, you explained it. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm on the 5.
I just, they need depth elsewhere. In the quarterback situation, which we will get into to end the podcast, because that's obviously the biggest kind of question mark heading into next week and this weekend. But like, I'm sorry, they need a Keith Cooper. They need an Ukwu.
Yeah.
They need a Nate Lynn. They need
those guys.
if not all three of those guys,
Yeah.
with what's going on right now, because giant question mark on Mekhi Wingo too. He's limited to team stuff. He's activated off pup. Dorsey's activated off pup. Guess what? Love it. Sorry, bud. We got Dorsey.
Yeah.
That's one of the best gunners in the league per Dan Campbell. I believe it too. I really like Jackson Meeks too, man.
I like him. I believe that if they did not have these depth concerns in other areas, I think that I won't say he will be a lock. I would say he's done enough to warrant them rolling the dice when adding him.
Say Hassanin doesn't get hurt and Hendon Hooker secures QB2, I got no problem with a 6 wide receiver. But the reality is, and this is not what people want to hear, if they lose Meeks and Lovett to waiver claims next week, guess who's probably still going to be on the practice squad here that has filled those roles before? It's Tom Kennedy.
Mr. Reliable, Mr. Steady Eddie. He's always there.
Well, it is. I mean, he's filled those roles on offense before. He's filled those roles on special teams before. It is not what anybody listening to this wants to hear. They want the sexy young rookie names. I get it. Kennedy knows this offense more than most because he's been here through 2 regimes. Tom Kennedy has literally been here for as long as I've been here. We showed up at the same time. And I there's a lot of trust there. He's filled those roles before, and I'm just saying that name to be like, if you lose, Meeks and Lovett to the waiver claims and you can't get them back in the practice squad, that obviously sucks. But the Super Bowl window is freaking wide open, guys, and they need D-line depth. They need edge depth. They got guys that can play special teams. I mean, dude, if Tesla's not involved with the sub packages out of the gates in week 1, like, that's a backup gunner from what I've seen in the very limited looks there too. Like, he's going to help on special teams. He's going to have to help on special teams. So I think we're in alignment. I think it's 5 wide receivers. I would not be surprised if a Meeks or a Lovett made it through, but like, unfortunately, the Lions are probably about to keep 3 quarterbacks. Where are you? Where are you on this? We'll start with you. What would you do with Hendon Hooker? It was our poll question of the week in the Weekly Roar newsletter. Would you keep him as QB2? Would you keep him as QB3? Would you cut him, or don't you know? I loved the options. I was like, don't know. Love it. Respect it.
Ooh. You know what? It's as much as I hate to say it, I think you got to keep 3 QBs.
Yeah.
It's just that even though Allen has outplayed Hooker for the spot, I still am unsure about Allen as the immediate backup. I think you need the options. But it goes back to what we said before. I am still super shocked that the moment that Bridgewater announced that he was coming back, that he did not find his way back in Allen Park immediately. Because now if you got to cut Kyle Allen, hey, so be it. But now if you're talking about figuring out what you got in Hooker and then having Bridgewater be the immediate backup to Goff, okay, cool. We're just back in familiar territory. Yeah. We're giving Hooker more time to develop. Hey, we're giving you a little bit more time to figure it out.
Yeah. And
we still have a viable backup that can step in if things get, if the unfortunate happens. But right now, if something were to happen to Goff, as well as Allen's has played in preseason, I still can't say that he's head and shoulders better than Hooker. Because even on that last drive of that game, I saw some things out of Hooker. Like, okay, if you can play like this, if you can if you can move the ball downfield this way and get through your reads, and just kind of recognize when the pocket is collapsing, there might be something there. Again, that pick by Ethan Robinson was
nasty.
That was nasty.
It was just a good play.
It was just a good play.
It was just a good play. The Ben answer for what I would do, I would cut Hendon Hooker. I would. If I was the decision maker, I would cut him. I would let someone else claim him, which I will guarantee you will happen if they cut Hendon Hooker.
Yeah.
He will be claimed. Someone will be taking that contract. But what I think Brad Holmes is going to do, I think he's going to keep Allen and Hooker. And here's the thing. He's not a completely lost cause, but it's getting to the point where he's a lost cause for the Lions.
Good point.
There's 1 year left after this year on his contract. He's going to be 27 or 28. He was an older rookie when he came into the league, and it's not clicking here. It's not. I mean, he was really good to open camp, and then the Hall of Fame game happened, and he's really been back to bad habits. And it's no in between. Sometimes he either takes too long in the pocket and scrambles and breaks everything down, or he sits there and he focuses on one guy and waits for that one guy to get open, and then the pocket breaks and he's in hell. He's got a really talented arm. He is clearly there's talent in there to be nurtured and growed, but if Hendon Hooker is on this roster or he's off this roster, nothing changes here. You need depth elsewhere. If you really love a Lovett or a Meeks, the only way you get one of those guys on the roster is if Hendon Hooker is gone, because then you still have a couple spots for the secondary depth or the defensive line depth or a favorite special teams young gunner or whatever. But man, I
don't see too many fans calling for for him to stay either.
The fans seem to be really done.
Yeah, they're like, hey.
Email us Dungeon of Doom at MLive if you disagree otherwise.
Yeah, but I mean,
my social media mentions are like, quit talking about this guy.
Yeah, like, hey, let's just go ahead and roll with Allen or see who gets cut by anybody else and kind of go from there. That's really where I was at. Originally just seeing who gets cut from the other teams, because at first there were rumors that the Giants might be entertaining something for Jameis. Doesn't look like that's going to happen from what I read.
Give it to me. Yeah, I love
Jameis. But, I mean.
It's tough. It is tough. But I would cut him. I would let him get claimed elsewhere. Wish him as well. Good luck, kid. Didn't work out here. And then I would keep Allen as QB2, and I would explore who gets cut on cutdown day. Not for the main roster. Get him on the practice squad. Utilize that third emergency quarterback rule, and just keep doing that until you find someone who you feel like is a great QB3 or can eventually replace Allen. But like, I don't care that they traded up to get Hendon Hooker. I don't care that he was a third-round pick. This is a Super Bowl window. You are facing depth issues at the same depth issue spot that you did last year on the edge, and I think you need to keep some of these guys who have started popping, whether it's Ukwu, whether it's Lynn, whether it's Keith Cooper, whether it's all three. I would prioritize those guys over keeping Hendon Hooker.
It's not a bad thought. It's not. I'm just. It's just such a tough situation, because it's like,
I know it is.
But to your point, Allen has done enough in preseason to show that he's QB2, and
he looks like a veteran quarterback.
And he looks like a veteran quarterback, and just the fact that sometimes you just have to cut your losses.
I think that's and I think Brad will have a tough time doing that, because I do think that there is some belief there, but you really have to look at the long-term picture. I mean, you got Jared Goff. You got QB1. You're entering the back half of this kid's rookie contract. I don't care that he's got next season on it. I don't care that it's cost controlled. Guess who else gets cut this week? That's going to be cost controlled too. That's going to be friendly. I mean, sometimes it just don't work out. I don't think it's working out.
I will say this. If you cut Hooker and you don't add to that defensive depth, that's a mistake. I'll say that much.
I'll leave you with this, because we're going to get out of here. I know you got to get going. You got some delicious smelling food in here too. What does Hendon Hooker need to do this weekend to make the roster? Preseason finale, Saturday, 1 p.m. back at Ford Field.
I will say he literally has to have. First off, he can't have any turnovers.
No turnovers.
Not at all. He has to have
no near turnovers either. Protect that freaking ball when you're scrambling.
Turnovers. It can't be. He cannot get sacked on his own merit.
Exactly.
And I think he needs to just really. I want to say a couple of touchdowns, but I just really want to say he has to just show poise in the pocket, that he can get through his reads quickly,
Yes.
and that he just makes good decisions. Whether he scores a touchdown or not, I mean, that would definitely help him.
For sure.
But those three things that I think he needs to show to at least give himself a fighting chance. If we're going for we're going to stick in the 2 QBs, he doesn't have a shot.
Yeah.
But to at least give himself a fighting chance, he has to show those three things, and along with not turning the ball over.
Yeah. And I'll just paint it like this. For any of the old heads who played Fight Night Round 3 back in the day, it's like when you're getting your butt kicked and you can't see straight and you're trying to throw, and all you can throw is haymakers, just going for the win. That's how his mentality should be. Don't go out there and throw like that. But he is back against the wall. I mean, the fact that we're talking about him as a potential cut is wild to me. I mean, I thought I believed him when they said we're bringing Kyle in to be competition for QB2. Sure, of course, whatever.
We looked at it. When it first happened, we were like, Kyle Allen. Okay, but and then I started seeing it in practice. I'm like,
dude, it was.
Maybe that wasn't that bad of an idea.
I just, like you said, no turnovers for Hendon. If you scramble, protect that ball, get down, get out of bounds. I mean, that's coming out of Dan's mouth too.
I mean, he's holding the ball
it's
out
very
when
sloppy.
He's running. I'm like, dude, that is easy to get punched out.
This ain't week 11 versus an FCS team in the SEC. Like, and like you said, he needs to work through his reads. Don't just focus on one. And also don't take too long in that pocket either and then freak out and just take a sack or try and make something. Man, if I were in control, I'll leave you on that. I would cut him. I really would. And I would just scan that wire and I would scan the practice squad offerings and just try to fill in the gaps there and say, whoops, made a mistake. It happens. Guess what? Still a Super Bowl contender.
I'm not trying to go ahead and wow. I mean, you know what? I'm going to stick with the 3, but I'm just for purposes, but I'm leaning.
A lot of I think most people are going with 3. Not to spoiler alert my final roster projection that's going to come out this Sunday, but I think I'm going to go 2. And I think I'm going to go 5 wide receivers too, because I think there are just more priorities that are going to help you now. And it's weird. The roster bubble has really changed. We used to talk about like 20 roster bubble guys. There's like 7. That's all I used to do in my.
I think that's just also a testament to how pretty darn good this team is.
Yeah. And we've been negative for a while. Let me just say this. I'm still expecting this team to win the NFC North. I still expect them to be a top 3 seed in the NFC. I still expect them to have a real chance at making their first Super Bowl. Like this roster is legit, but you need to prioritize what you need now. And I don't think cutting Hendon Hooker means anything. I don't think it changes anything then, now, or forever in the future. I think it's reached that point.
I will say this to your point. Regardless of what happens, if anything happens to Goff, this whole thing is off the rails.
The only chance they would have is to be like, St. Brown slot every play, run Monty and Gibbs until the wheels fall off. They got the offensive line to do that, but that's a testament to Jared Goff and his growth too. I mean, that is QB1, that is the franchise, that is who can get you to the finish line that you want to get to. And I think it would be really ugly if it was Hendon Hooker in that spot. And I think Kyle Allen could at least run the offense, get the ball to St. Brown, and hand it to Monty and Gibbs.
Yeah.
Hendon, I don't know. He does so many little weird things.
You said the key word right there. Allen can at least run the offense.
And I don't think Hooker's there yet. So, that's your Dungeon of Doom podcast. I'm Ben Raven. He's Kory Woods. We will be back Saturday.
Yeah.
The post-game podcast, preseason finale, and then we'll probably record Tuesday night after roster cutdown day.
Ooh, that's going to be interesting.
That's going to be a long day. It's a crazy day. That is a crazy day. So Tuesday at 4 p.m. is when rosters have to be 53 players. Waiver claims have to come in by the next morning. We'll know about those. Last year there were 27 waiver claims on cutdown day. The Lions used 1 to get Trevor Nowaski back in town. That was a question on the newsletter this week. But yeah, that's all we got for you. I'm going to go finish these observations. You're going to go get out of here and hopefully get yourself a new car.
Yeah, engine went kaput. I'm not going to talk about any companies, but yeah. The car I had, if you know the car I had, don't get that one.
Don't get that one. Rhymes with Bevy. All right, we'll get out of here. Thanks, guys.